When we talk of marketing, when we talk of marketing of farm produce, or when you talk of selling farm produce, because this has been my biggest song when it comes to training farmers, when it comes to advising farmers, when it comes to guiding farmers on where to start their agri production or agri venture. We start from the market. Majority of the farmers, or some farmers, have always been thinking of the town setup kind of a market where you carry your farm produce and take them to your nearest town. For example, you take them to Nairobi, you take them to Kampala, you take them to Dar es Salaam, you take them to Cairo, you take them to your nearest town that is in your country. But this, talking of the market, this has not been the kind of mindset I usually want to put into farmers. When I mention a market, I mention something or a place where you're supposed to sell your farm produce. That's the definition according to me. Where you sell your farm produce, not generally that location, that one specific location where we all meet with trolleys, with bicycles, with motorcycles, and go to sell our farm produce. I think uh, I need now to make a clarification of what the market is, the kind of the market where each and every farmer is supposed to sell their farm produce. When and when doing a research, which specific point are you supposed to sell your farm produce? Um, I was reading a recent research that was saying among a successful venture that is becoming big in the future, the industry that is becoming big in the future is the food industry. And when we talk of food industry consists of so many other industries, among them the hotels, the schools, and everything. The farmers are included there, and the farmers, when food industry is mentioned, farmers are the engine because they supply fresh vegetables, they supply eggs, they supply meat, they supply everything. So this now becomes our center of attraction, now becomes our center of discussion now. When the market is mentioned, or when I tell you go look for the market, where specifically, or which is the specific point are you going to run to? One, now we are not discussing about the town center market. One, you need to look at schools around you. This is one of the biggest venture. This is one of the biggest market, a ready market that you can sell your farm produce. Schools, look at, if you get 2 to 3 schools around you, supply them with cabbages. Remember, the medium-sized schools that student or pupils hit from school, they have a population of around 100 to 1,000 pupils. If you can be able to supply on a weekly basis, let's say 2,000 cabbages, let's say 5,000 cabbages, though that market now doesn't give cash on delivery. Sometimes they stay for a period. You need to prepare yourself. But once you have an agreement, you can run to the bank and be able uh, to get the funding or the finances for you to be able to run such a venture. So look at that schools. One of the best market. One of the best market. Though when they close down, when they are on holidays, they are not going to be selling. But still, when they are on holidays, you'll be mark timing as you consume what you've gathered when they were in school. So that is one of the best. Hospitals. Where do hospitals get their farm produce? Because I understand hospitals are among the places that take fresh produce, that take the best nutritive produce, from meat to eggs to milk to vegetables. Where do they get their produce from? Why don't sometimes we limit ourselves, we lie to ourselves that these hospitals, so and so is a big boy, supplies to this and this. Yes, he is a big boy or she's a big boy, and supplies maybe eggs, supplies milk. Go and ask about the cabbage supply. They're supplying eggs, they're not supplying cabbages, they're not supplying carrots, they are not supplying onions. They are supplying maybe cooking oil, they're supplying salt, they are not supplying other farm produce. Why don't you go there and be able to get the market for your farm produce? Um, Hotels are also among the best places you can go and get the market information from, because I understand I've gone to the other day I was in the market and this person comes to buy farm produce in the market, and they tell me I saw them shopping big quantities of farm produce, and I tried to talk to them. They told me they belong to a certain hotel. Today is their shopping day. One, after a conversation with them, I came to know that they lack consistent supply from farmers. Once they give orders, they don't get consistent supply. Though that's among the big mistake we do as farmers or we do as suppliers. Also, they lack the varieties. This is now where I comes in and introduce another person into farming who is not hands-on into the farm. You can be, you don't need to be a farmer for you to supply. You don't need to be a farmer for you to sell. You can get this farm produce yourself from different farms, not necessarily from the market, at an affordable price, and go sell them to those hotels. And hotels are classified. They are big, they are small, they are the roadside hotel. There are so many, they are classified. It's up to you now to decide which one you are going to settle for. You don't need, if you cannot sell for the small roadside hotel, don't target for the 5-star hotel. You may hit a bedrock, a rock, chasing that big hotel. But when times comes, you can run to them. But you can chase this small one, supply them. You have guts, you have courage, you have the energy, go to the bigger hotels. I know of a guy who is among the biggest suppliers of capsicum, red and yellow capsicum, to big hotels. He started with small supplies of groceries, and he got a loophole, and now he's a big supplier. Supplies over 10 tons of capsicum to these hotels in a week. Different hotels, and they take small quantities, not that they take at and they take 200, 300, but he has a big number of them that is supplied. So that is a point to note. I think with that you can open your mind and be able to identify more, because there are so many other farm produce markets, where you can supply. And another thing, uh, when approaching any market, this is now the bottom line. When approaching any market, some markets are very tricky because they'll come to you requesting for one produce. Like, for example, I'm a capsicum farmer, I'm doing watermelon, I'm doing other farm produce, other vegetables, but I don't do milk. You go asking for supplies, or you want to supply a certain hotel or a certain institution, they request you to supply them with meat or to supply them with milk. So, because you don't produce that, you tell them you don't produce that, and you give a chance to a neighbor or to a friend who will be supplying them with milk. When they start supplying them with milk, the institution now demands supply cabbage. Now, since now you've started supplying milk or eggs, supply cabbage, supply everything, and now they becomes a big supplier in that hotel. So if there is a chance of supply anything that can be supplied, you should not at any given point tell them you don't have that product. Source it from another farmer, source it from another market, source it from where you can get it, supply it. Then as you're supplying it, also remind them, I'm also a cabbage farmer. What you do, I'm also a cabbage farmer. I'm also doing eggs. Can I be given a chance to supply? Because once they find someone who can supply all these farm produce, it's usually a big advantage to them. So I hope you got the tips on where to get your best farm uh, produce market. I've not exhausted everything. There are so many. This was just a recap. This was something to open up your mind, to show you uh, what where the market, you're supposed to look for the market. Also your neighbors, uh, the people that are neighboring you. Every homestead has a kitchen. Every homestead cooks in the morning, during lunch, and also in the evening. You can also supply them, stop them from going to the market and start supplying them. So this just was a mind opener. This was an eye opener, for you to be able to identify, or for you to be able to know which is the best agri-produce market for you, and the best place that you can sell your farm produce and make money. Hope you've learned something from today's discussion. And if this is your first time you're watching me, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because this is where you learn, this is where you get everything from farm training to the farming tips, and be a better farmer and do good business in this agri space. Bye.